Establishing procedures and routines at the beginning of the school year, then maintaining them throughout the year, is essential.
At the beginning of the school year, it's really important to set up routines, and that takes a large amount of our first 2 or 3 weeks.
Routines are so important for children. No matter what you do, if you can keep your day the same in terms of increments of minutes and have them paced so that they know what to expect, you're going to deal with fewer problems over the long run.
At the very beginning of the year, I started off with routines. You know, we do this, 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 and this, and I'd say a few weeks into the school year, they know exactly when we do this, and you know, they know exactly after lunch we do writer's workshop.
Listen to this word, routinize the classroom, because that's what we're doing. We want to routinize it. We want it to run like clockwork. I don't want kids to say, I don't have a pencil. I want them to know what this classroom's routine is when they don't have a pencil. I want to know what this classroom's routine is when they don't have a textbook. I don't want 7 kids surrounded saying, teacher, teacher, may I go to my locker? That's where my textbook is. And then you being inconsistent and one day saying, no, yes, and then one day saying, no. There needs to be a routine.
By putting procedures and routines in place, or routinizing the classroom, teachers purchase valuable time for learning. Procedures that become routines provide stability and predictability in the classroom, an environment that youngsters will thrive in. Brenda Stingley uses an address system that is applicable to many tasks. Her 5th grade students are each assigned a classroom address number that corresponds with their position alphabetically in the class list. The address is used for many things, such as where students put their backpacks in the morning. With the Which Way Did You Go board, students check themselves out to leave for various locations outside of the classroom.
So when a student needs to leave the classroom to go to learning support or first aid or bel cantos for chorus, they can just click it and move it, and then I know where they're at. And that's just, for example, we had the earthquake and I knew where the kids were. Social studies, language arts, just a filing system, and every student has a number, the same one that corresponds with their Which Way Did You Go, and they just keep their materials in there.
The numbers also correspond to student mathematics binders. Mrs. Stingley's daily organizer is color-coded and updated each day with specific expectations and activities for that day. She also posts an overview of the week she calls Weekly Specials. Students can enter any routinized classroom and immediately know what to do. Julie Kent's kindergarten students each have jobs they carry out during the week. This daily routine promotes a sense of responsibility.
They really enjoy their jobs, and it helps give them a sense of responsibility for the room. It's also a routine in the morning. They know they come in and they do their jobs, feed the fish, feed the gerbil, take the chairs down off the table. So those are things that are real important to starting our day.
Who else would like to sit in our share chair today and share a story? Alex?
In Jill Oak's class, the 2nd grade students have become accustomed to going to a share chair from which they share their work with the class. This ritual builds a sense of community.
My favorite animal. My favorite animal is the tiger because it can roar louder than a lion. I think the tiger would make a good pet. I would take him for a walk every day. He would mess up the house, he would rip the curtains, and he would eat the cushions. If I left him inside, my mom would get mad at me. If I left him outside, he would tear up the grass. Then my mom would be very mad.
Very good. Any questions for Alex about his story?
Isaiah.
You say if he goes outside, he'll eat up the grass, and when he goes inside, he'll tear up the furniture. And where does he go then? Like if you had to prepare for where to go.
I wouldn't have a tiger for a pet.
Getting the attention of a disruptive or busily working class can be difficult. Mrs. Stingley uses a signal that all of her students are familiar with. When she says, "If you hear me snap once," the students snap their fingers in response.
If you hear me snap once, if you hear me snap twice. Thank you. Can I have your eyes up front, please?
A bell or chimes can also be used.
Give me 5.
Some teachers prefer a hand signal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First day, we start out with Fast 5. It's a signal that we use throughout the school. And by the count of 5, the kids should have eyes on the speaker, bodies and knees turned, hands free, lips locked, no matter who's the speaker. If the lights go out, if I ring the bell, the same thing should happen.
Procedures will only become routine when teachers teach them, then practice and rehearse them with students.
Behaviors are important. Teaching processes. You just don't tell third graders to do it. You teach the process.
We'll practice it, and I'll say, okay, I'm going to watch it. We're going to do it. You did it in a minute and a half. Can we do it in 1 minute? But it's just that practice again and again and again.
Transitions or any change of activity can create management nightmares for new teachers. They need to be carefully structured and choreographed. Jill Oakes makes sure her students are ready before she asks them to execute the transition.
So what I would need you to do is put all your papers in your folders, and I'll call us by groups to go sit on the carpet. Let's see who's ready. Remember, you're only bringing your folder over. That's all you're bringing over. Group 1's ready. Group 5. Nice job, Group 1. Group 2. And Group 4.
We're going to stand up and walk to our places. After you stand, I don't want you to move. LaShawn, you going to join us? Because we're going to our places and do some board work. Okay, everybody stand. Oh, I like the way that you haven't moved yet. If you have purple on, please go to your place. If you have yellow on, please go to your place. She has yellow balls in her hair. If you have... Yes, I see somebody else with yellow barrettes. If you have stripes on today, go to your place. They're coming back from lunch. They've been to the bathroom, so they go get their drink of water. They all have a routine where they count. The person behind counts to 5 and then says stop, and that person leaves and comes back to the rug and sits on a blue square. I found that having a place for the children to sit on the rug helps them keep in a space so that they're not disrupting each other. It helps them find a place to sit down rather than just saying, go sit down on the rug.
How students enter the classroom sets the tone for the rest of the day. Warm-up activities accomplish this. In Mrs. Stingley's class, all of the exercises are color-coded. Pink is for mathematics.
Every morning we start our day with mental math, and it's just a math packet that they get on Monday. It's due on Friday. It's just a routine that they just, every week, there's nothing new and different, and they will call me on it if I haven't passed out their pink packets on Mondays. They're prepared for it.
The color code corresponds with what is on the daily schedule, a graphic organizer posted on the board.
Pink means math, purple means writing, green means reading, and so they're used to it. So I could say the sea of pink. And everyone's working on math right now.
Lisa Campbell at Vine Elementary in Cincinnati begins her day with music for her 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade students. Ms. Campbell is a mentor teacher, and the 28 students are taught by 4 intern teachers, 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon.
We're finding that music is one of the best ways to manage a classroom. She uses music for entering the classroom. She uses music for transition time.
The students go right to work on their warm-up activity, journal writing. It is obvious that Ms. Campbell's students enjoy the freedom to learn.
Part of it is choice. They sit where they want, but part of it is routinization. They practice and they rehearse. Those first 3 weeks of school, they have dress rehearsals. Show me what it's going to look like when you hear our entry song. Oh, let's go practice it again. I bet we can get even better. I wonder how many seconds it'll take to put away our journals and come up to rug for rug time. Let me put our transition music on. Go. And they'll set the little timer and they'll count the number of seconds.
The goal is to teach students to become self-managers. Self-managers move through procedures without teacher intervention. they automatically know what to do in given situations. Self-managers are able to work independently or in small groups with limited supervision. The teacher simply monitors.
Bring your check.
Mrs. Oakes facilitates a writer's workshop in which students help each other with writing. Alex is going to help Isaiah with his current work.
My sister doesn't like dogs. I like to feed my dog. My dog likes to eat pork and chicken. My dog likes to...
The success of Writer's Workshop was the direct result of teaching students the necessary steps in the process.
I was afraid the kids were going to be scared to be able to take that much responsibility, but really they love budding up with their classmates and helping each other, and I think that's what makes them feel better about themselves.
To celebrate student growth in their self-management skills, teachers take time to let students self-evaluate their progress. During their math practice, Lorna Dunstan encourages students to evaluate their self-management skills.
If you are not talking and on task, give yourself a plus up by your name.
An earlier class of Brenda Stingley's created a self-management rubric.
I have used it for 4 years, so it's a thumbs up. Good morning.
As a veteran teacher, Mrs. Stingley offers many quick tips for beginning teachers.
Alrighty, Kaylee, I have the sticks in a cup and playground balls. I need a quick errand. Volunteer. I just pull a stick out of a cup, and it's just lottery. And so you never know when your number is going to come up. Jessica and Pam.
She also uses the sticks to call on students for participation. Because the draw is random, students don't feel picked on or that they have to compete to be selected. She makes a game of something that could be noisy and disruptive.
Are you ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Through there. Okay, we are going to get ready for science. Anytime a student is absent, we just put a folder on their desk. That's just a quick signal for me to know who's absent, and when we're walking around passing out papers, I can just open up. She makes sure that she has all of her homework for the next day. So when they come to school the next day, they check their absent folder, make sure they have everything that they need, and then they cross-reference with an absent binder. And then they just find out what they missed.
Ending a class with "Ticket Out the Door" provides teachers with valuable information on classwork and on students' sense of community. Lois Blackmore's kindergarten students had just returned from a field trip to the beach.
Tell me one thing you learned at the beach.
Here.
Tell me, use words.
I went to the beach and I saw a boat loading it up.
Ticket out the door. I encourage you to get tickets out the door from your kids because it's kind of like a temperature check. How are you doing? What are you learning? What could I do to make things better for you?
Precious, precious.
Being fully prepared for that first day of class will help the beginning teacher beyond measure. However, no matter how prepared, some students are still going to test the boundaries. In the second videotape, part 2 of this program, the teaching of social and emotional behaviors will be discussed. Active student involvement, how to address misbehavior will be explored, and the law of least intervention will be introduced.